Hello and welcome to another Building in Public with me, Spence C. This is number 6 and it's January the 4th. How's your 2025 going so far? It's a beautiful day here in California and it's 1:45 p.m. in the afternoon. So the idea of these videos for me is to stay consistent. 2025 for me has to be the year of consistency. So I thought one way of doing that is to do a daily video. And I also do, you can also find me on LinkedIn. There's also a weekly newsletter. There's a lot more content that's coming out from me. But this is going to be the daily video. So it's going to be around 10 minutes long. And what I'll try to do is I'm building in public. So I'm building this channel, I'm building my own business, and I'll be probably experimenting with other things as we go along and sharing my wins, sharing the losses, and sharing the stuff that I've gained, the knowledge that I've learned along the way about music, about the music business, and just sharing my experience with that. I also offer music business consultations. I'm a musician myself, and yes, you will find out a lot more about me as we go along. So, but first things first, what I like to do is every day on this video, another ritual, what I want to try and get better at is to stay hydrated, because water and hydration is just so important, as is good sleep and everything else. So, but this is a good way for me to remind myself that I'm drinking enough water. So this is 28 ounce, it's 0.83 of a litre. I've already drunk one of these earlier on in the day, so I'm already full with water, but here we go. We've got to stay consistent. You can join me if you want. Press pause, fill up a bottle, and let's drink together. Here we go. Mm, almost there. A little bit left. Gosh. Done. So, the theme of today's video is busking makes me feel good. And what do I mean by busking? If you're in a country that you don't know what the word means, it just means street performing. So street performing or busking is a big part of my story in terms of being a musician. In 2014, I started busking for the first time. Prior to that, I'd been in bands. I played drums and I played guitar and played open mics, but it was always just a hobby for me. I'd never really thought about monetizing it or making it my full-time thing. I had a day job. I was doing teaching. And around that time, I got made redundant. I think it's for the second time. And I knew that my options were to get back on that merry-go-round again or to change career path. And so I took the latter, and I didn't know what I was going to do even. So I took a little bit of time off, and then gradually I could feel the pull of music, and I started doing more open mics. And then I, one sunny day in Birmingham, this is where I used to live in the UK, which is the second biggest city in the UK, if you didn't know that. And if you do ever go to Birmingham, so England, by the way, visit Birmingham, because there's lots of things to see there. There's lots of culture. It was the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, the birthplace of heavy metal, not surprisingly, Black Sabbath, and not far further down south, not far away from Birmingham, is Stratford-upon-Avon, which was the birthplace of Shakespeare, of course. And not only that, it's the West Midlands. Birmingham is the birthplace of Peaky Blinders. So there's a lot of history, a lot of heritage, and it's just a cool place to go. So check it out if you've never been. I digress. So one sunny day in Birmingham, one rare sunny day, I should say, in March, I had my guitar, picked it up from the guitar repair shop. Again, no intentions of busking. I was just going to pick the guitar up and walk back home. It was a beautiful day, and I don't know, the spirit just moved me, and I started busking. Played my own songs quite badly because I hadn't rehearsed very much. And that actually got me over a massive fear hump, because I'd always thought about busking. I'd seen people busking in Birmingham and Stratford-upon-Avon and various places. Saw them having a great time, saw them making money, and I thought, oh, I'd love to do that one day. But the fear just, I didn't know where to start or how to start or how to get going. So anyway, for some reason, the fear lifted that day and I got started. That was the day everything changed for me, because as soon as that happened and as soon as I got, they call it a drop, someone gives you some money. As soon as I got my first drop, my tip, then I just thought, well, if I can get, somebody can pay me £1 or $1, then I could make 100 or 1,000 or 1,000,000. I don't know. It just opened my mind as to what could happen. And so from then on, I started to busk more and more regularly, and until it became my full-time thing. I got a small amp, and I got a mic, and I started doing CDs and got a whole repertoire together, and I started touring around the UK, and then I started going further out to Europe and ended up playing in America and all kinds of things. That my story really took off. And then I started getting more gigs. I was getting asked, people would stop me and see me playing and say, hey, we're getting married, can you play at our wedding? Or we've got this corporate gig, can you do this and do that? So I was getting so many kind of opportunities coming my way. I got invited to open for at a festival, just because someone would play. Again, all these major, amazing opportunities happened purely just from me standing there playing the guitar. So, and I made some money as well, which was great. So I'm a big advocate of busking, and there's lots of different people you can look at to get an idea of how you can do the busking thing. I've written a book about it. It's called Busking for Beginners. I'm going to put the link down below, and it gives you all the basics if you need to get started. And if you sign up to the newsletter, which I'll put a link in down below as well, I'm going to go into more depth. And as we go, it's a weekly newsletter. I'll tell you more about busking tips that isn't in the book, and I probably won't be sharing on these videos either. Exclusive stuff. So, and not only that, all the subjects I do on these videos, I'll go deeper in the newsletter. I'll give you more stuff that I'm not going to put out here. So there's a good reason to sign up, completely free as well. So busking. So there's no downside to it. So if you're like me, if you're just starting out, maybe you're playing some open mics, you want to build some confidence, you want to get more stage time, then busking's great because you don't have to book ahead unless you're playing in the London Underground. That's a different story. You don't have to sort of plan it out, really. You just go and stand somewhere and play. And of course, I'm simplifying it because it is simple, but there's a lot more to it than that if you want to make it, if you want to take it seriously, that is. So, as I said, I go into more detail in the book. But if you are thinking about starting, what I would say, first of all, is get the mindset right. So take the pressure off yourself. Don't think about, oh, I've got to make some money, I've got to sell some CDs, or I've got to get a crowd around me, I've got to go viral, all this kind of stuff. Just play to get, first of all, just get over the fear of it, first of all, and to see if you like it. Some people try it and they just hate it. I loved it. And pick a place that is, now I personally, I busked it where I lived, but I wouldn't always recommend that. Sometimes it might be easier to go to a town where nobody knows you, so it takes the pressure off. Again, it's all down to you, how you are. You might be fine busking in your hometown, and yeah, just have fun with it. I think that would be just try and keep the pressure off and keep it simple. Just really just have some fun with it. Engage with people. If you're playing your own stuff, that is great as well. Make sure you have your name and your socials clearly on display if you want to take it a bit more seriously. You probably don't need to do that on your first one. If you're just doing it for the first time, take the pressure off. Just literally play for 20 minutes, just whatever your instrument you're playing, and just try it and see how you feel. If you get a response, great. If you don't get a response, it's not always because of you. Sometimes it is, let's be honest. It could be that you're not very good, or you're too nervous, or you're in the wrong spot. But, just don't, just do the first time and just do it to see how it feels. And then you can start to develop it and build on it from there. It always helps if you can throw a couple of covers in, because then those tunes are familiar and people respond to them more. If you're playing your own stuff, it's not always accessible for people to get involved in it. So, but just have fun, engage with people, plenty of eye contact, talk to people, interact, relax. When you have fun and feel confident, people will warm to you. If you're standing there really nervous, people will it's a bit cringe, isn't it? People back away from you a bit. So whatever you're doing, just do it loud and proud and with plenty of confidence, and just enjoy it. And then that shines through. So this is coming up to 10 minutes. That's all about busking. Like I said, if you want to know more, if you want to take it more seriously, I've got a book down there in the links down below. And sign up to the newsletter. I will go into deeper strategies on there as well. And you can also interact with your newsletter. Obviously, you can reply. It's on email, so we can have a conversation. It's been great to be here. And live and raw and authentic. This is what it's all about. So thanks for watching. Be prosperous. See you tomorrow.